inside of us. The work is always going to be inner work, shadow work. You always hear those terms people use on social media, and sometimes they're good, but sometimes we're maybe in the middle of the journey, but we need to go to the beginning of the journey. We have to put our attention, our thoughts on our mind. We have so many thoughts per day, so many ideas per day. Sometimes those ideas aren't even ours. Sometimes those thoughts aren't ours. They come from our environment, right? Things we consume every day, things we see every day. And that's normal. That's the human life. We're able to experience things with our eyes, our senses, listen to music, and that's important. But a lot of times we're in this mindset of automatic, maybe because our body has grown accustomed to feeling this way. Maybe because our environment we think is good for us. A lot of people never really have time to be alone, to be with themselves, even be with their thoughts. People are always listening to music, people are always on TikTok, on social media, on YouTube. And the thought of being alone with their thoughts is scary. And it's only scary because we aren't used to it. It's something our body isn't comfortable with. We're always okay, okay, we're always moving, but our body heals when we're in a relaxed state. Our body becomes happy, becomes in peace when in a relaxed state. And we're never going to get there if we're not in a relaxed state. Okay? You guys can do all the healing, all the prosperity you want, but if you're doing it in a certain energy length, a certain mindset, if you're doing this in alpha, it's just going to be a band aid. It's going to be good today, but it's not going to be good tomorrow. You're not going to be able to build the consistency, the confidence you need to bring peace, to attract love, to attract happiness. When we are working in gamma or theta, those benefits us a lot more when we want to practice love, when we want to practice happiness, peace, but we have to arrive to that state first. Okay? How can we do that? There's many ways. One of the biggest ways is not trying to, but controlling our thoughts. Okay? When we control our thoughts, we are in control. We have so many cells in our body. We have so many emotions. And those emotions grow comfortable. They don't like change, which is fine. They don't like change. But if we want to be happy, if we want to not be stressed, we have to learn how to control those cells and learn how to control those emotions. Okay. Um, our emotions are reacting by what's on the outside, our environment. So if you grew up in a toxic household, that's going to take some years to change. You know, if you haven't really changed your friends, if you've always been the same person, you live in the same place, your body is just going to stay in that mindset. Okay. But if we can put our attention on what we desire, on what we truly believe we are, by using positive affirmations, by creating images in our head, imagination is so powerful. So, doing these things, we're able to reprogram our mind. We're able to create instead of react. And I think that's one of the biggest things we have to realize in life. Anything is possible. There are millions of timelines, but we just have to believe that that timeline is possible. We have to have faith that timeline is possible. Okay? Force is bad. Okay? If you're trying to force something, no, you have to allow it to happen. We can allow it to happen by trusting in the universe. And we have to build that trust every day. Okay, whether you take 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you have to put in time for yourself first before you put in time for others. Okay, yes, your friends need you, but you need you. Yes, your job needs you, but you need you. You have to put in time for yourself. There's only 24 hours in a day, and how many hours are you putting in for yourself? Okay, so that's why I say sit with your thoughts. Your thoughts deserve love too. Yes, everyone around you deserves love, your environment deserves love, but you deserve love too. And yes, this can seem selfish in a way, but we have to change our perspective. There's always a good, there's always a bad, there's always a so-so, there's always opposites in life. And with perspective, there's always a way to feel good about it. Things aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. Okay, the way we change our words have energy. Energy never dies. It always is changing or getting in a new shape. So that's why I say we have to learn how to control that energy. Okay? All of our cells has so much energy. Our heart, so much energy. Our stomach, so much energy. Our brain, so much energy. And when we're able to grow those energy cells, because they're used to the toxicity, they're used to the fear, they're used to the anger. And those things grow, they become comfortable. They're like, this is my house. But once we're able to create new emotions, create new feelings of love, create new imaginations, new timelines, those cells are going to start thinking, okay, okay. And once we're started to become disciplined, the body is going to be like, oh, okay, I like this. I feel happy. It's a practice. Every single day we have to do it. And it's difficult. It's really difficult. But courage is the key to accomplishing anything you want. That means you're not afraid to be seen trying. That means you are accepting discomfort in your life. That means you are able to try new things and be okay with failing. Um, because if you're not doing things out of courage, you're doing things out of fear. Opposites. Okay, fear, you're gonna have stress, you're gonna be anxious, you're gonna be nervous, you're gonna be worried about other people. But courage means you are not afraid. Courage means you're able to do things without the care of others. And by doing courage, you're doing action, and action brings manifestations. So, yes, I'm going to be talking about this on my page. Please, if you're interested, subscribe, like, comment, let me know. Did this make sense? But this is what I want to preach out to the world.